And we're live. Welcome to the WAN Show, your weekly analysis and news. And who am I kidding? We just goof around on Friday afternoons. And for some reason, you guys like to watch because you're weird like that.
I like to watch.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
What am I doing?
We've got a lot of great topics for you guys today. But rather than tell you about them, I'm going to pick all the most boring ones so that I can razz James about it in person.
How to make the news, man.
Okay, this headline. Weird case from Kickstarter that Linus likes. Okay, first and foremost, just because I like something that doesn't make it weird.
This is
I like to
opinion.
watch. I like to watch, for example. You like to watch too? Is it weird that if we both like it?
Well, no. I don't like this case. That's why it's weird. It's weird that you like it. I didn't get it. Maybe you can walk us through. You can show everyone the case. You can tell us why it's
All
cool.
right. I don't think it's that weird. I think some of you guys are... I don't think all of you guys are going to want to pay for it because that's a whole other matter, but I do think you guys will think it's pretty cool. What else have we got for boring news this week?
Scroll to the bottom. I usually put the boring stuff on the bottom.
I don't know. This is pretty boring. Bluetooth hacked again.
It's scary.
It's scary, but in like a boring way. Like Bluetooth has to be the most mundane, boring thing on the face of the earth.
The boringness to cool name ratio is high, though.
Okay.
Bluetooth is a pretty good name.
Oh, Facebook to open a new AI lab in Montreal. Oh,
I thought you liked the Canadian stuff.
Oh man. Oh, Google
guy.
Chrome lets you mute. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. That one's at the very bottom. You don't even know what good news is.
Best for last.
That's not what you said.
Prove it. This is live, baby.
No, there's an archive. All right, fine. You pick two
No
news
one
topics.
watches that.
Pick cool ones.
Okay, this is probably one that you normally wouldn't even read, but it's possible that in the near future, you might be able to charge your electric car in 5 minutes.
I can charge my electric car in 5 minutes now.
You don't have one, Linus!
It's the little one like this. What else you got? Hit me again. That was terrible.
There's going to be a new GTX 1070.
Okay, you know what? I think my attempts to read boring news are still more interesting than your attempts to read what you think is the best news. This is where we have a disconnect, James.
Every week, Linus puts in to the document, before I get to it, his picks of things that pop up out to him during the week. They pop out, he puts them to make sure they're in the show. The top one this week, the fact that the video card guy left AMD.
That is sort of a big deal.
He's taking 1 quarter off. He's taking a long Christmas break. He's back in January.
He's going to be out for 3 months. Okay.
This is so overblown.
Let me put it this way. You know what? Fine. We'll come back to this after the break. First, the intro.
Yes. The answer to that question's yes.
No, there's music right now.
No, they can hear us still.
They can. It's just annoying. Don't do that! You're too new to the show to be annoying. See, Luke gets away with it.
I like to test the boundaries.
Do you like to watch other people test their boundaries? Are we allowed to talk about stuff like this while we put the sponsor logos on the screen?
Synergy.
All right. Okay.
You pick.
No, we're going right into the Radeon Technologies Group thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to open up with I completely disagree with you, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and make your argument. Actually, no, I'm going to open up with what the actual news is. So the original article here was actually from Yong Kang posted it on the forum here. We'll go ahead and pull that up. And basically just said, well, that's odd. Raja, so you might remember him as...
The tiger in Aladdin.
No. You might remember him as the gentleman who dropped the RX 480 back when it launched. That wasn't me. I was just present. He was the one who dropped it.
That's where you caught it from.
And he came back to AMD right around the time that they launched their Hawaii GPUs. So that was the 290X and the 290. And Vega has basically been his baby since then. And he is going on a break until the end of Q4, so the start of 2018. And Dr. Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, so he's been running Radeon Technologies Group, which was split off from AMD proper. So they're going, okay, this is the CPU side, this is the GPU side, in an attempt to make it easier for the CPU side of things to work with folks like NVIDIA, and the GPU side of things to work with folks like Intel.
Okay, I'm starting to get this.
So Dr. Su is basically stepping in as now the boss, and I'll just say boss because technically she was already the CEO of it, so you can't get more boss than that, but she'll be more directly overseeing Radeon Technologies Group, blurring the line between these two companies, in my mind anyway, in a way, and also, what's it called when you go like this? Telegraphing sort of it's a telegraphing an attack, you know.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so telegraphing sort of in my mind, potential shift in at least her thoughts for how important Raja is to RTG.
See, I think you're reaching there.
Okay, all right, make your argument.
So
Don't let me stop you from making your argument.
But, okay. All right, so he worked really hard during Vega. Needless to say, the guy was probably burning the midnight oil for months.
Literally a couple of years.
So he sent an internal email to the staff, thanking everyone for their hard work, highlighting how kick-ass the launch has been for Epic and, well, not Epic, but Threadripper and Ryzen and all of it. And Vega, since that's his baby. So he thanked everyone for their hard work and then said, quote, "Vega was personally hard on me as well, and I used up a lot of family credits during this journey. I decided to take a time off."
Oh, they can see it.
They can see it.
I'm sharing them.
But they like when I read stuff. So it was tough on him. He's taking some time off. I don't think that's hard to understand. So he asked Sue when he should take time off, and she suggested this last quarter. I think he originally wanted to go off like in January. But there's more product launches then, so they chose now. So I think your theory about how her influence or presence is going to muddy the water, I don't think that really applies, because I think it's a quiet time. She's not going to have to make that many big decisions.
I don't think, okay.
It's coasting. They're
I
coasting.
don't think there's ever a quiet time in the tech industry, for one thing. And here's my counter argument to that. If I told you that it was in any way acceptable for you to be off work for 3 months, unless there was, and here's the thing, we don't know about his health or his family's health, or, there may be personal factors at play. So that may be part of why people are reading too much into this, because they don't have all the information. But all I can go based on is what I see in front of me. And what I see in front of me is, if I told you, James, that barring any kind of health issues or any kind of family emergency or the birth of a child, it was cool for you to just not be at work for a few months, how essential would you feel? And how essential would I have to feel like you are to just be like, yeah, that's cool. Actually, what would be great is if maybe for the next few months, maybe we just didn't pay you and you just didn't come to work. And then maybe after that you'll come back. And, to me, this feels more like a slow, like a way to quietly phase out than it feels like a sabbatical. I could be totally wrong. I could be so far off the mark that it's not even funny. Because a lot of what's in here, on the face of it, looks fairly credible. He's been working real hard, and his family probably wants to see him. And this has been a very long couple to few years of his life. But...
So why no successor then?
Because I don't think Raja is that simple to introduce a successor to, and I think this few months gives them time to find somebody.
Okay.
That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. And I would be singing a totally different song right now if Vega had absolutely kicked ass. Is that Bixby talking to me? Nope, not Bixby. Might have been Siri.
Maybe it's Bixby, but it's for me.
Might have been Siri activating. Yeah.
Maybe they're talking to each other.
It was neither. Yeah. That would be a great video.
Bixby would be all eloquent, and Siri would just be like, nah.
Oh wow, that would be an
nothing to
amazing
say.
video. Like getting them going, like seeing if they could start activating each other. Like
that.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you repeat that? Like
that prank call when you get one erotic hotline to talk to the other erotic hotline, and then it takes them like 10 minutes to figure out, like, no, you called me. You never...
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh.
That sounds great, though.
If for someone who likes to watch, I assume you like to listen. You should look it up. Pizza Man versus Pizza Man, that kind of thing.
That does sound pretty good. Okay, so then... Tinfoil hat. How many tinfoil hats out of 10 am I wearing right now?
Are we doing a straw poll? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to hear from you. I actually do care what you think.
He'll be back. I'm giving you a credible 6.
A 6? Okay.
Like, it's not that far-fetched.
Okay.
Could be true, but I'm just erring on the side of not true.
Okay. All right. I can accept that because I lied. I don't care what you think anyway.
I don't think good thoughts.
You only think good
No,
thoughts?
I don't think good thoughts.
All right. Let's get into our next topic here. My,
Is that really next, or is this?
I'm going to have to...
Doesn't everyone want to know?
All right. We can talk
about
about the iPhones. Wait. Is this seriously all the... Okay, so there's a couple issues here. Number one is I'm working on my review of the 4K Blade, and I'm going to screen share you guys on something that I've never seen before. This is just my Chrome right now. This is not very usable.
That's white privilege.
That's...
Manifested.
Yeah, this is not very helpful. This is the other issue. This is all the notes I get.
You watched the event.
I don't.
What do you know?
I don't.
You know what you're gonna say.
I don't memorize every stupid thing.
You know what you're gonna say.
No, I need a summary.
You have things to say. You want to say them.
I don't
This
remember.
is new information.
No, I don't remember how many megapixels every camera on
They're all
all
12.
the phones
all three
has.
are 12. They're still 12. That hasn't even changed.
Okay, well, I didn't remember that, so...
That's why you got me.
Well,
New Luke.
I wasn't going to host the show with you. I was going to host it with someone cool, but then we ran out of time.
Are you saying I'm not cool?
I'm like, no.
Are you implying that I'm hot?
What? Oh, you're making me very uncomfortable right now. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is interesting.
Are you familiar with this senator in particular? You recognize that name?
Al Franken, yes.
He's the coolest senator, I think. He's the guy that rakes people over the coals, questions them, hard questions. And he's got some more.
Oh, this actually looks pretty good. Okay, so it's to do with their Face ID. But anyway, let's talk about... See, now I don't have a summary. I don't have like a... Okay, next time I do need the summary for stuff like this. Just because I watched the live stream doesn't mean I don't need the summary. Now, I'm flying blind here. Okay, so let's talk general impressions. I don't know how many of you did tune into the live stream that we did during Apple's event, but Ed and I actually streamed live the whole time to give you guys sort of a PC / Apple fanboy perspective on all of the news that they announced. The watch looks moderately interesting. They are taking another step towards the direction that I didn't really want to see them go with the Apple Watch.
You mean independence, cellular, that kind of thing?
I like... Okay, see, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I think it's a lower priority than always on display.
Oh.
So every generation, they're cramming in more sensors. This time, they're cramming in a SIM cardless SIM. So you can have a cellular connection without needing to actually put a SIM card in it, which is really cool. And I would be floored if we don't see the same technology in every phone moving forward at some point here.
And the thing that's messed about that is that's two devices running off the same SIM card.
What is?
That never happens. Like, you can make calls from the phone, and then you've got your SIM
No,
card.
you still so it's an independent activation with the carrier. So it has a SIM card. It's just built into the PCB.
But it's the same phone number.
Oh, wait.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that I hadn't thought about that. That's really cool. Anyway, so love the tech. Love the idea of not having to take your phone with you, or like even take it out all day if you don't do a ton of texting. If you just need to like set yourself a reminder, take a call when people call you. Actually, you can place calls from it. You can do a lot of stuff. I hate that we aren't making it a watch first before it's a computer on your wrist. And I feel like every time they have an opportunity to throw a marginally bigger battery in it, or to not put something extra in it, throw a slightly more power efficient processor in it and turn on always on display. They don't. They just make it
Why do you want that?
a more advanced computer. Because I don't want to have to go like this every time I want to know the time. I want to be able to like just see what time it is.
You want to just look down without even having to turn the watch.
Yeah, I mean, you wear a watch.
I'm wearing a watch right now.
Yeah.
People can't see it, but like, so let's say I'm like this. Jesus. Ugh. You want to just be able to look at it. You don't even want to have to tweak it.
No.
Even that.
Why should I have to do that?
What's just the littlest tweak?
That's stupid. What if I'm, okay, here's something.
Yeah, but the other side of that coin is having it on all the time for no reason stupid.
No, it's not stupid.
What if it was dimly on, and then
Okay.
if you tweaked it,
Here,
it would shine
Tell
bright?
you what, let's say I didn't have a computer in front of me right now. I'm sitting having a conversation with someone at a table. I want to know what time it is. This phone, with its always on display, is a timepiece right there. Boom, convenient. So convenient. I don't have to pick it up and go like this. Because really, here's the issue. It does time almost no better than a phone.
Okay.
I have to do the exact same stupid routine to check the time on my phone as I do on my watch. And they're so concerned about making it call phones and browse the internet and track all of my running and walking and swimming and jumping and breathing and heart rate that they can't, like...
That's so reasonable for them to do that, though. Because the biggest criticism with the watch is that it doesn't do anything. So they want to put more things in it for it to do.
Is that even the biggest criticism of a watch? Like,
It is for me.
Who is? Well, yeah, but you wear an analog watch.
I wouldn't
have
necessarily.
created your own biggest complaint. Why don't you get a Casio calculator watch then, if you want it to do something?
Buttons are too small.
You could type boobies on it and be like,
Noobless. Noob. You could probably write noobless, too.
Nah, I don't
No,
think you
there's
could do the N.
There's no N, is
yeah,
there?
no N.
All right. Do I know numbers? I'd actually, the secret's out. I don't even know how to tell time on this thing. What's the secret with
Are you
analog
kidding?
watches? I don't know what this means. It's 2 lines down. 2 lines down a clock. I get to go home. Digital age.
2 lines down a clock. Okay, I'll confess that reading analog time is not my forte either. I'm really slow at it.
Like you're counting by fives when you're staring at
I'm
it?
super slow at it. Like, obviously I can do it, but it takes me a minute.
It's a form of muscle memory.
And you know what? It's funny because I think I'm probably not the only one. Like, you remember, it wasn't that long ago, Windows had an analog clock when you clicked the... Oh, that's funny. We're in the way. There we go. Had an analog clock when you clicked the time in the bottom right corner.
No, thank you.
Whereas now, they went digital with it because I think this is just a skill like driving manual that's fading from our collective...
Well, it's... you could learn as a toddler to read that way earlier than a analog watch. There's no secret to it. If you know what the number looks like, then you know how to say it. Just say it out loud.
Yes and no.
5,
I mean,
3, 2.
Okay, no, time is a little bit complicated for little kids. As someone who has a little kid, and has are you
mansplaining me? I used to be a little kid. I know how it goes. Dad's planning.
Okay,
I'm just joking. Go ahead, please.
the word mansplaining is banned from the WAN show as of this moment.
Because there's 2 men talking, so it's...
No,
an
that's
echo
not
chamber.
why it's banned. It's banned because it's ridiculous. Okay, so...
See how you explained to me that it's ridiculous? Okay, dadsplaining. Dadsplaining's allowed.
No, it's not.
Come on, we're not all dads.
So I was going through this with my son, and he goes, I said, okay, we've got to be at school or somewhere. I forget where I was talking about, but we've got to be there at 8:50. And he goes, oh, okay. So, but we have the half of the rest of the hour until 9 or something
10
like
base
that.
versus 12 base.
Yeah, he figured we were using like a base 10 system for time, and I kind of went, no, okay, actually not. So there are things about time that are complicated, even if you're looking at the numbers. But
we're just talking about the reading of it.
I feel like we've gotten off topic a little bit here.
So, bezel-less displays.
The Apple Watch,
We want to talk about the
I'm
iPhone
not
10.
excited about because it doesn't have an always-on display, and Apple can sell me another watch, like, SOS with just your watch. It's pretty cool. Not needing to be able to get it your phone or even have it with you. All cool stuff. But I'm not buying another one until they give me an always-on display. Okay. All right. What's the next product that they had? Did they update Safari or something?
Come on, let's just get to the meat and potatoes.
No, hold on. Oh, right. Apple's new headquarters.
And the Steve Jobs Theater.
The design looks great. I thought the keynote from the Steve Jobs Theater was absolutely gorgeous. Also, have you seen their new stores? The Town Center or Town Hall, or what was it? Town Center? Okay.
Center. It's just...
We're not, you know what? Forget it. Let's
just not talk about
we're
that.
Not going to talk about
from the WAN
We're
show?
not going to talk about the iPhone at all. Let's talk about the new concept for Apple's retail store. And sorry, I almost called it a store. It's not a store. It's a town center. Because this is going to be a place where people go to gather and teach each other and learn from each other and interact with each other.
Life.
That's right. Where they're actually, Apple is bringing it full circle. Okay?
Authentic human interaction.
They took us from talking to each other like this to talking to each other like this when we're in the same room. That's not how you use a phone. And now they're bringing us back to talking like this about this.
Are you sure they are?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter, how many bezels are on it. We just want to connect with each other, and that is what Apple's enabling.
That's malarkey. For the uninitiated, this is what's happening. They are, at least internally, calling their stores, the Apple Store is now called officially.
Oh man, Twitch chat's like, Linus, stop.
The Apple
Linus,
Town
stop.
Center.
No, stop. Or Town Square, sorry.
Okay.
Whatever it's called.
Question the first. Do they expect the public to refer to them that way? I would say keep dreaming, but Apple people...
man,
they'll do it. They're going to do it.
You can get them to call it a magic mouse. If you can get them to call something a magic mouse, then I think you can get them
I want to see someone who has a bad experience at the store be mad about it and still call it that way. So I went to the Apple Town Square today, and the geniuses there totally sucked. So they had to call the mayor, because he's the only one that knows what's going on.
The mayor!
I assume it goes all the way, and the manager is called the mayor now. Maybe,
An everyday zombie says, can you stop WAN-splaining right now?
What a wanner.
Okay, I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. The Appletown mayor. Mayor, yes. Okay, fine. So that was your first question. The answer, honestly, I'm actually going to go with no. I don't think anyone is going to start calling it... Like, you can get people to call it Apple Store because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a store where you buy apples. No, wait. It's not. They can do anything.
Second question. Are they going to change the sign?
Ooh. Okay, so I actually didn't look that closely at the designs for these. But if I had to guess, like, I don't even think... Here, hold on a second. Apple Town Square. Here we go. Let's get some images up here, because if I had to guess, I would say they probably would just have an Apple logo. That would be my guess. Yeah, so look, I think that's where
That's a rectangle!
Okay, no, hold... Oh, shut up. I'm not even...
If you stand in the corner, can you call it the Apple rhombus?
This town square here just has like an Apple logo.
This is clearly an exceptional example. That's outdoor. It's literally a plaza.
No, that's like the idea, though.
But most Apple stores are in malls.
That's true, but I think the idea behind some of these town squares is that they're actually like acquiring, like what was this building that they said? I think they said they bought like some historic building in like Italy or some crap, like this thing.
They're gonna have their flagship stores.
Yeah, see, but here it doesn't say Apple Store. It's just an Apple logo.
But they are changing the design of the retail space to facilitate some kind of human interaction.
Yeah, and they're planning to bring in actual experts on things. Although they were saying that this new position they've created, like creative something, will be to creatives what the genius is to whatever. And I'm kind of like, well, if it's a genius, then... Like, if we're creating an analog for geniuses, then my expectations are fairly low.
Ouch.
Apparently it was in France, but...
Sizzler.
Europe somewhere. Why don't we go with
France.
that? Okay, so what was your second question? I don't remember.
We talked about the sign.
Yeah.
Are they actually expecting people to talk to each other in there? Because you go in there and you look at the Apple stuff that you want to look at, and you still don't talk to other humans who are just shopping in there.
Well, here's a question, though. You're Apple shopper-splaining right now, because I don't think you've ever actually walked into an Apple store and bought something.
Oh, except for that time that you wanted to get a red iPhone to make a video, and I went to the mall, and I was the one who bought that red iPhone and brought it back to the office.
Yeah, but you didn't buy it.
Okay, I didn't go through like the shopping.
You handed over
experience.
company money to walk out of the store with something for company use.
In and out in 2 minutes.
Yes. So, as someone who is not Cult of Apple, can you really Cult of Apple splain to people who are Apple shoppers?
So, like normal Cult of Apple people, they go in there, they rub shoulders, they like a collective boner giddiness about how sweet Apple is, and they kind of like, they experience the products and they look up at each other, eyes me, and they're like, "Are you seeing this? This is so sick!" Is that the idea here?
I don't know, actually. I'm not much of an Apple shopper either. So you know
we
what?
need someone Apple splain us.
Okay, all right. Let's stop with the blue balls. We'll talk about the phone. iPhone 8, shockingly iterative to me.
7S.
You can tell. I don't understand why they called it 8.
Neither do I.
The only reason that I can think of is that this is a gradual phase out of having, because right now they've got what? They've got the SE, which isn't numbered at all, right? Then they've got the iPhone number. Then they've got the iPhone, we skipped a number, and it's 10 now for some reason because 10th anniversary.
And it's not a numeral.
So if I had to guess, well, they called it 10 though.
Yeah, but it's a Roman numeral 10.
Yeah.
It's not like a 1-0.
So it's clearly separate. So if I had to guess, what they're doing is they are changing the lineup so that the regular numbers are just going to be the replacement for what an SE would have been. And we're going to get no 8S. We're just going to get a 9. And we're going to be using that same body design that we've had since the 6. We're going to be using that like kind of for a bit on the value option.
Yeah, okay.
And then that gives them one more generation to kind of get people used to this idea. And it buys them then 2 full years for OLED panels to get more reasonable so that they can bring the X, XI, and 12, like this more premium design, so they can bring that into the kinds of price points that they want for their step down. So the whole lineup is going to look like XI, and then last gen X. So that'll be your top of the line and then your step down. And then you're going to have the kind of the cheapo line is going to be the 9 and like the SE or something like that.
Do you think they'll call it 9?
I think maybe.
Give it a new name just like SE was a new
name. Yeah,
or
or they might do away with numbers entirely. And so they might have like an SE and then like something else entirely. And basically, I think they're starting over at X. Or
that line extension's huge though.
Or get this. Before we go into our sponsor spots for the day, I have one more theory bomb to drop on you.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
You know how OS 10 has just been OS 10 forever?
Yeah.
What if this is just iPhone 10 forever? Because Apple is responsible for this naming BS that seems to have taken over the technology industry, where they just call the product the same thing they did last year. And the fact that it is so confusing for consumers, don't worry about it. We're just going to do it. What if it's just iPhone X?
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Because on the iPhone, they still haven't done it. They still haven't gone, no,
That's
this is
because
just the new Mac.
They are the masters of making you want the newest thing every year. You don't need an X right now if you have a 7, but you fucking want one, don't you? Or do we drop F-bombs in the WAN Show?
No, we don't.
Sorry, everyone. You want one, though. You want one.
Okay, but then why would they do that on the MacBook? Why would they do it on the MacBook Pro? Why do they just call it MacBook Pro every time? See, Apple TV.
I don't know.
But then they went and they broke the system. They called it the Apple TV 4K. See, I don't know what they're doing.
I think they should just do years. We should all just do years. I like it. I like the
No,
MacBook
because
2016.
what if you launch 2 products in a year?
16 Q2. 16.2.
Oh,
Whatever. 16 and a half.
That's worse.
They do that with car model years. Don't stare. Blink. Give them a blink. Come on. I'll blink for you guys.
This episode of The WAN Show is brought to you by Freshbooks.
Freshbooks.
Freshbooks is the way to go if you are a small business owner or you're a freelancer and you want an easy way to save your time and be more productive.
Even if you don't have a business and you just want to play with it.
What?
It's pretty fun.
You play with Freshbooks for fun? Can you? Okay, you can dial back the shill level a little bit. Freshbooks is actually really great. And if you need to track your business expenses, if you need to bill your clients, if you need to see when your clients have seen your invoices, Freshbooks has got you covered. And they have a fully functional iOS and Android mobile experience, so you don't even have to be sitting in front of your desktop in order to do all of your paperwork, which is pretty sick. So head over to freshbooks.com/WAN and check it out. They've got a 30-day free trial. Just enter WAN in the How Did You Hear About Us section. I think I managed to do that whole spot without any of my notes, which is good because
And you're telling me to dial back the shill.
This tab is, well, no.
You're experienced shill.
Your shilliness is just crappy, though. You're just bad at it.
Oh, we'll consult the Twitch chat for that.
No, Twitch chat always sides against me.
Exactly.
They never back me up.
They're a perfect proxy for the truth.
No, they just love to hate. They love to hate. Also on the show this week. Hold on. Where is it?
Don't leave me.
Where is it? Okay. Ha! I get to punish you.
Dude, I can take that like a champion. Give me the spiciest one.
This is for dropping F-bombs on the show.
Bring it on.
All right. Savage Jerky. Jerky made with the best ingredients without nitrates or preservatives. The goal was to create a snack that was full of flavor, and let me tell you, this is full of so much flavor that it doesn't just affect your mouth.
I'm a vegetarian.
No, you aren't.
I am.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'll eat it, though.
What? Since when are you a vegetarian? Well, why would you say you can handle it? Why did you say to give it to you?
Because in the past, I've eaten wings that require a waiver to be signed. And I'm positive that this isn't near as spicy as that.
Really? This is...
I'll do it for science.
This is Carolina Reaper jerky. You know that, right?
What does that mean? Those are just words to me.
Those are just words. Okay, so
which Carolina are we talking? South or north? If it's spicy, it's gotta be south, right?
I don't think it matters.
Am I supposed to eat the whole thing at once?
No. I would not. No, I would not recommend... What are you doing? Your body's gonna hate you. Okay, so anyway, you can use offer code LTT to save 10% on all their products. And for all orders this week, Savage Jerky will include a koozie or a sticker with each order placed using our code, offer code LTT. Don't worry if you don't like the hottest stuff. They've got lots of other great flavors. Like their sea salt is really good. Luke really likes the traditional. That one's not my favorite. I like the Mojo or Moho or whatever it is. We don't have any of that right now, so I guess I'll settle for some traditional. Traditional's pretty good. So yeah, go check them out over at savagejerky.com. You have to be suffering right now.
This is pretty good jerky.
It is good jerky, but you have to be suffering. No, I don't buy it. No matter how straight of a face you keep, there's absolutely no way that that's not painful. All right, synergy.
I am perspiring.
Okay. Yeah, you got some perspiration action going on there.
And I will admit that I'm doing some mind over matter Wim Hof stuff here, but
Like, it's pretty, like, your eyes are watery. A little bit more watery than before. They're a little glossier. Synergy.
it's spicy.
It's spicy.
It's the spiciest jerky I've had.
Synergy is a software download that solves the problem of having 2 keyboards and 2 mice once and for all. You can share 1 mouse and 1 keyboard between 2 or more computers, so you'll no longer confuse which one is for which. And I think the coolest thing about it is that it works cross-platform. Windows, Mac, even Linux. You can seamlessly move your mouse across the screens. They've got great features like clipboard sharing between the computers, drag and dropping files, the ability to set up hotkeys.
That is sweet.
And more. And they offer a basic and pro option with a one-time payment for lifetime access. So head over to seamless.com/synergy/Linus29. Wow, what a terrible vanity URL. And you can save 50%. So it's worth typing in all that nonsense in order to get a great deal on a great piece of software.
Is that how old you were when they became a sponsor?
No, I'm not that old.
You're not 29. Oh, okay, I got it.
All right, I got to give you props for holding up that well to the Reaper jerky.
It's worse now. It's worse now than it's been. I'm suffering now.
It gets you. Oh, let me tell you, the suffering has only just begun.
Oh, I'm aware. I have diarrhea every day anyway. Can we talk about the NVIDIA, the rumor that they're working on?
No, I'm not done with the iPhone 8 yet.
Oh, God.
Or we haven't even talked about the X. Or 10, rather.
I want to talk about its bezel.
Okay, so the 8 is super iterative, whatever. It's got slightly better kind of everything. The 10. I hate the speaker and face detection, face ID cutout.
What's the
thing.
speaker?
That's that cutout at the top.
Oh, that thing. I don't mind that.
When you're watching videos on that, though, come on.
Have you seen what it looks like when you're watching a video on it?
Yeah, it's got like a little cutout.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's horrible. I mean, I might get used to it really fast. In my review, I might be like, you know what? This is fine. It's totally cool. Forget it. But I love Touch ID. I'm actually the opposite of stoked that we're getting rid of Touch ID.
Agreed.
I think that getting into where's that article that you brought up? Thanks, Bixby. Bixby is activated right now. I think that we're
trying to help.
Where's that article that you brought up? Thanks, Bixby. Bixby's activated right now. That we're getting into where's that article that you brought up? Thanks, Bixby. Bixby's activated
Change
right
password
now.
to James
that
is
we're
the
getting
best.
into where there's that article that you brought up.
Set reminder to give James a raise. Is it working?
That you brought up time to give James raise.
Actually,
we need to unlock the phone first.
Bixby's on my side.
All right, Bixby's with you. Okay, so where's that? Okay, so aside from... Okay, so they claim Face ID is more secure, but Senator Al Franken has actually questioned Apple about the security of their Face ID and has raised some fairly interesting points here.
Namely?
So Apple has stated that all faceprint data will be stored locally on an individual's device as opposed to being sent to the cloud. So is it currently possible, either remotely or through physical access to the device, for either Apple or a third party to extract and obtain usable faceprint data from the iPhone X? Is there any foreseeable reason why Apple would decide to begin storing such data remotely? Apple has stated it used more than 1 billion images in developing the Face ID algorithm. Where did these 1 billion face images come from?
That's less relevant to me.
Really? You don't think that's interesting?
It could be, but the answer could be very mundane. It could be Shutterstock. It could be just public images of faces.
Where would you get 1 billion images of faces?
The internet.
Well, yeah.
The whole internet.
Yeah, but then how would you guarantee that you have the rights to use it? Because the whole terms of service where you can collect non-personally identifying information. The thing that people usually agree to is that it's not supposed to be personally identifying. Your face is by definition personally identifying. What steps did Apple take to ensure its system was trained on a diverse set of faces in terms of race, gender, and age? How are they protecting against racial, gender, or age bias in Face ID? In the unveiling of the iPhone X, Apple made numerous assurances about the accuracy and sophistication. Please describe again all the steps that Apple has taken to ensure that Face ID can distinguish an individual's face from a photograph or mask, for example. I would love to do
try that maybe.
Like a death mask, and then I don't know exactly how we do it.
I would love to have a Linus mask. Can I, if we make one for the video, okay?
No, you can't have it. No.
You're never going to use it again.
That is so weird.
Strawball, if we made
Would you wear it while you watch?
You can't drop F-bombs, you can say that. Okay, if we had one in the merch store.
Look, we have to draw the line somewhere.
How many people would be honest for Halloween?
We all know I wasn't going to stop saying weird sexual stuff, so...
Okay, at least that can go over somebody's head, whereas F-bombs are just F-bombs.
Yeah, see?
The answer is yes. Yes, I would. It would enhance the experience.
Can Apple confirm that it has no plans to use faceprint data for any purpose other than the operation of Face ID? These are all good questions.
Big one.
The biggest one for me is Face ID really going to be more convenient than Touch ID? And that's one that I'm having some trouble with, because they did show it operating not directly staring at the phone, which is the biggest issue I have right now with Iris ID. By the time I go like this, and I swear, probably a good 40 to 50% of the time I use it, I'm like,
that's gash. You don't want
playing around with it. A lot of the time, it would be faster for me to just key in a pin.
Because fingerprint unlock on the back of your device, which you iPhone people aren't used to, you can unlock that sucker while it's still in your pocket, and you're bringing it to your face. It's already there. So you're saying that they demonstrated this thing, and at obtuse angles, it can already be unlocking before it's even right.
Well, they had it sitting on the desk. Like, they were simulating the, I'm being a rude jackass at dinner experience, where it was sitting on the desk right there, and you were near it. That better be the
spicy one.
No, this is the lame-o stuff. I've done the spicy one on stream before. I've had enough. Not today. Today's been a long week. I'll do it again, but I just don't feel like it today. So, iPhone X, what is there to say, really?
I think one last comment is that the bezel-lessness of this Samsung Galaxy S8 is way better. What do you think? Having not held a 10.
Having not held a 10.
It's not bezel-less. It just has thin bezels.
I agree. With that said, there are times when the Infinity Edge does interfere with me reaching across the screen. I do have pretty small hands. But on the S8 in particular, it's not nearly as bad as it is for me on the Note 8. And I can pretty much work with it. I love the idea of the S8. I haven't touched an iPhone X yet, but I really like this phone.
You can imagine a screen that looks like that and is curved and bezel-less like that.
Yeah.
But the curved edge actually doesn't register touch at all.
Yeah.
Like, what if there was a not visible but haptic bezel? A haptic bezel.
A haptic bezel.
You know what I mean?
Probably a matter of time. I mean, as soon as Apple sees someone else build some stupid, weird squeeze engine, they're probably thinking, wow, that's like almost smart, except if they'd done it with Force Touch or 3D Touch, then it would be way better. Yoink.
Booyah.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I thought the 10 was going to be a knockoff of the Edge, but maybe that was too far for Apple, for even Apple. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't have expected that. I honestly, nothing about it really surprised me. The only thing that surprised and or disappointed me was that we didn't end up with a Touch ID sensor under the screen. Because if it had Face ID and Touch ID through the screen.
But is it because they failed to do it properly?
That's the rumor.
Yeah. Here, another question for you. Samsung is a bottleneck on their kick-ass OLED displays. Samsung is making their displays. I'm sure Apple claims to, I'm sure in the keynote they said that this is the best display you can get on a phone. Is it the case that Samsung also has those exact displays, or is there like an exclusivity clause that Apple has the rights to that display even though Samsung's the one making it?
Funny you bring that up. The issue with Samsung's displays, the thing that makes them not as good as Apple's, is that Samsung intentionally craps all over them. That's the issue.
You mean to get other gains? Like they sacrifice something for something else?
Well, they go full Best Buy, crank the vividness mode on it, and it's something that I don't think there's any way they're gonna stop doing it.
Is that an Asian sensibility versus American sensibility?
I don't know. It's a hard thing to it's a hard thing to say, because especially given how much research all of these multinationals do on the localization of a product for a given region, I would have to think that if it was something that, you know, Americans liked to have color accurate displays, I would have to imagine that other phone makers would also tune the displays differently for different regions. Okay, so this is interesting. Apparently Craig Federighi did go on the record with TechCrunch answering some burning questions about Face ID. So I don't have time to read the whole thing, but basically Apple does not even have a way to give your Face ID to law enforcement. They never take possession of the data, anonymized or otherwise. It's all in the secure enclave, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Is it local? To the device then?
Yep.
Nick's here.
They've discussed a two-factor authentication so that you could actually force the phone to require both Face ID and a PIN.
You know when you
which would
burp
be
up
pretty
like
cool.
a taste from earlier? I just basically had fire in my mouth for a second, like lava just
Dragon style, just
came
like.
up. Just lava. Magma.
Nick, do you need me for something? Or?
For like 2 minutes.
2 minutes to take a picture? Wow. So this is only your second time on WAN Show, and you're going to have to tackle a topic all on your own.
Technically, it's my third.
Can you handle not screwing this up?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, you want to do the 1070 Ti?
I'm pretty loose right now.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, hit it. Where's the original article from? Dang it, James.
Damn it, Bobby.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, tech power up. Dang it, James.
Damn it. Damn it, Dale.
Um,
I just love it. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Nick just did an awesome impression of the theme song to King of the Hill.
yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to play that, so it's just as well.
Head
you
over to
guys didn't
YouTube
hear
and
it.
watch a 24-hour live stream of King of the Hill episodes. Worth it.
Okay, we shouldn't be promoting.
Yeah, we're not promoting piracy. Okay, you are crossing so many lines, James. I am kicking you off the WAN Show. No, actually, I need you to cover for me on the WAN
Maybe
Show.
they-
So here's the original
Thank you, Linus.
original article there on tech power up. Okay, I'll be right back.
So the basic deal is, the rumor has it that NVIDIA is working on a new release of probably my favorite graphics card, the GTX 1070. Really hits a price performance sweet spot, and there's going to be a new one coming out. We're not sure if they're going to call it 1070 Ti or Ti, or if it's just going to be an unnamed refresh, because that's what they've done in the past. For example, they did let me look at my notes. There's a refresh in the past where instead of changing the name, they just put on the branding on the box what the new specs are. So the 1080 and the 1060 both were refreshed without name changes. The GTX 1060 6GB, for example, was refreshed. So the reason that NVIDIA, I'm talking to nobody here and it just feels awkward. The reason that they're going to do this refresh is because, you come sit with me, is because of Vega. Because the new RX Vega cards sit right in between GTX 1070s and 1080s. Mm-hmm. And so since NVIDIA can, they might as well just release a card that just sits right beside that Vega. Mm-hmm. Now we're so close. I feel like we should chaos. Linus, please, things are getting weird on the WAN Show.
Oh man, okay.
like that scene
What, I
in
go
Wayne's
away
World.
for like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and
when
everything-
Garth's alone on the set of
everything
Wayne's World.
falls apart.
The WAN Show may not know that Linus hasn't really even seen Wayne's World.
I've seen Wayne's World.
But you don't care about
I've
it.
seen it once.
You can't quote it.
A long time ago.
Then you haven't seen it.
I know something about party time. Excellent.
A lot of the time when we're writing scripts, references that are shared between us are like the essence of the humor. Like the fact that we're both South Park fans comes up a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm always going for Wayne's World references, and he doesn't get them, and it's just like, I just every time just melt.
It's not that funny. It's basically an SNL skit stretched out for way too long. Like, if I recall correctly, the plot is just inane.
Please go.
You're gonna tell me you also like The Cable Guy, I bet.
That one I haven't watched since childhood.
Okay. As a child, when it came out, I literally walked out of that movie.
Your parents said, "Where are you going?"
Well, I was watching it with my grandma, actually.
She was sleeping, you just peed.
But-
Going to the arcade, Grandma, see ya.
It was that bad. And I know that I'm probably taking some flack in Twitch chat right now, but Cable Guy was an awful, awful movie.
Okay, but what about the scene where they're at that medieval times restaurant and they're fighting and he's doing that Star Trek theme song? That's classic.
No.
Next topic.
No, it was not funny. Not funny at all.
Next
I don't know
topic.
why is everybody talking about Rick and Morty?
Because it's probably saying it's better than South Park.
It's not better than South Park. I mean, Rick and Morty has a couple episodes where I feel like they've made some sort of social commentary approaching the depth of an average South Park episode.
But maybe social commentary is not the forte.
But maybe it's not. But I mean, how do you...
So you're saying it's apples to oranges?
I'm saying it's totally apples to
I
oranges.
think they're compared because they have an overlapping fan base. Like, types of people who like South Park are the types of people who like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but I would say there's a lot of the types of people who like both of them that probably don't really get either of them.
Word.
So...
Are you mansplaining right now?
No, I don't think so. I don't think... I'm not insulting Rick and Morty. I really like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, yeah.
I like to watch it.
No, I really like Rick and Morty. I don't think it's comparable to South Park at all. I mean, the other thing, too, is it's basically in its infancy. I mean, if you go back and look at season 1 of South Park, season 1 of Rick and Morty kind of stomps all over it. Season 1 of South Park is mostly toilet
Shock
humor.
humor, yeah.
Whereas by the time they hit sort of season 3 to season...
6 is golden age for sure.
Yep, 6, 7. I mean, that stuff started to get really, really good. I mean, Rick and Morty's only on their 3rd season right now. So, and I thought the last episode was probably the best one of the series so far in terms of actually having a meaning that's deeper than, I'm a silly scientist and I burp when I talk and, scary stuff happens or whatever. I thought the episode with the Citadel. I thought the episode sort of looking at life on the Citadel was really interesting. You can kind of see that they weren't necessarily really expecting much in the way of continuity. That's also something that I think the show both embraces and suffers from, that they don't really care that much about the Citadel being explicitly described as the effort of a few thousand Ricks the first time that we're introduced to it, and then being expanded a couple seasons later to basically being an entire society of Ricks and Mortys that's, had all these struggles for so long.
Is this a spoiler?
Oh. Oops.
And have you
Well, is it a
realized, or do
spoiler?
you care that...
Okay, no, I don't think anything I said is a spoiler. I won't give you guys any spoilers. I mean, nothing that I've said will not be obvious within about the first 30 seconds of the episode. So you guys are all good. But in my opinion, it's the best episode of the show so far. Anyway, carry on. It's not Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick is just kind of goofy. Like, if you're into kind of silly humor, then Pickle Rick's a great episode, but it's one of my least favorite.
So why don't you tell us why NVIDIA is refreshing the 1070?
Why didn't you just tell people why they're refreshing the 1070?
Yeah, pretty much, just as a response to Vega. Do you think, though, that they're going to call it Thai or not?
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
If they don't, yeah.
Yeah, it might just be like, because
Yeah, because in the past, they've done...
They've done, it's
Same
something
name
that...
refreshes.
It's something I really don't like. It's something that I wish they wouldn't do. But again, we have Apple to blame for all of this crap. It all comes back to Apple just calling their product the same thing over and over.
Damn it, Apple!
So, yeah, I don't know.
I think the idea here is it's going to smash, or at least be the same performance as Vega, but just with a lower TDP and a similar price point. So why wouldn't you get it?
Yep. I think that NVIDIA could have easily just sat on their butts and done nothing about the Vega launch. because at this point they're pretty much just printing money. The R&D for Pascal is so paid for. But if they do something, then I guess great. That's what we want, right? We want competition to mean better graphics cards for all. All right, let's talk about some more AMD news. Der Bauer, the delitting king, is back.
He's back.
With more news.
I got a little carried away there. Second.
I don't get. So this was posted on the forum by Swatson, and the original article is actually a video. So let's go ahead and fire that up. Hey Roman, there you are, bud. So he comes out and he's like, "Hey, AMD said that the 2 extra dies on Threadripper were specifically dummies, and it turns out that they are not just silicon spacers, but they are disabled or at least non-functional Zeppelin dies that do contain transistors."
What does it mean?
Why would they lie about this? This is what I don't get.
Well, okay, so some people are speculating that it could mean that in the future there may be a 32-core Threadripper. Maybe they wanted to just delay that little rumor from coming out.
But
it's taken until someone delitted it for us to speculate on that.
I could have speculated.
Does that make sense?
No.
Right. Well, then I'm as puzzled as you are.
Like, I've heard speculation about that going back to Computex before Threadripper even launched.
Okay.
And this is from people in the industry, which always leaks, so it always becomes something that's speculated outside the industry.
Well, did they explicitly say that there was no transistors in there?
Yeah.
Maybe they just have a different definition of dummy than you do.
Why wouldn't they just... No, they specifically said they were spacers.
Well, they are.
And that they weren't failed dies. But if we can see that they contain transistors, then... Okay, what we don't necessarily know is that they are exactly... So they did say no working transistors. So that could... No, you know what? No, there's no... I don't really think there's any way around this. As far as I can tell, these are... I don't know what they are. I just, what I don't understand is why they would come out and say something like that when they could have just said, yeah, they're failed ones. Or
you don't want the F word in your product launch.
Yeah, but everyone talks about the process of binning. I think it's fairly well understood within the kind of enthusiast community that...
Well, Intel already slammed...
This happens.
Intel already got to be smarmy by saying Threadripper's glued together. So they could have said it's just a bunch of failed chips glued together.
Yeah, but Intel does the same thing. This is not...
stab.
Yeah, but like it would come across really insincere, completely meaningless, because everybody does it.
So are you confused, or are you actually just kind of upset?
Okay, so I'm just confused.
Did they break your tiny trust?
Because here, we've got people saying, Warboy X says, if the cores were enabled, the CPU would have 6 or 8 channel memory also. No, it wouldn't, because the socket and the motherboards wouldn't be wired up for it. Now, it's possible that AMD that what they were hoping to achieve was that nobody would run out and try to unlock cores. But then they couldn't possibly have thought that no one at any point was going to rip apart one of the dies once a Threadripper failed. They couldn't possibly have thought that, because it is really easy to tell. Like, you can see, it's visible to the naked eye. If you look at the video of the 7700K or 6700K, whatever, the chip that fell out of the vise when Berkel dropped it. It broke apart. You can clearly see, like, the cache and the cores, like, it's visible to the naked eye that's a CPU die once the top breaks off.
You're looking at me, but all I can think of right now is that my stomach is a cauldron.
They couldn't have possibly expected people to not look at it at some point. So, I don't know. This just seems super dumb, and...
It's up to us to get answers.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just didn't want... This is a good theory from Warboy X. Maybe they just didn't want people, running Threadrippers and Epic sockets or vice versa. Maybe they wanted to separate their consumer / prosumer from their server. I don't know. I don't know, but I guess I'm over it. I just don't understand why they wouldn't be straightforward about this, because they have nothing to gain and their credibility to lose. There. And there's a lot of times when you run into stuff like this in the industry where it just kind of goes, why would you deceive us about this? No one could possibly care that you were doing it this way, like the same way that everyone has made CPUs since basically the dawn of time, and by that I mean the last few decades, because that's as long as we've had CPUs. Why not just say, yeah, we're doing it that way, same as usual?
Unless you count the brain.
What? Bluetooth has been hacked again.
No, there's more interesting ones.
Really?
There's more interesting ones.
All right, some attack vector, Linux.
It's a scary hack, though, because your Bluetooth just has to be on, and you can get hacked.
iOS has been immune since 10. Google provided device manufacturers with a patch last month, but it's up to them to push it. Wah, wah.
Well, it's up to the likes of Samsung to push it.
Yeah, apparently there are literally billions of devices that are compromised.
Yeah, but this has been patched since July, so, well, on Windows. Okay, we're not talking about it.
All right, fine. What else do you got for me?
You want to talk about the Hyperloop?
No, it's boring. Google offers free repairs to Pixel owners affected by Hurricane Harvey.
Now, this is the opposite of what we were just talking about.
I see this being abused.
This is an opportunity. This is low-hanging fruit. This is an opportunity for a company like Google to get some kick-ass PR during a very hard time for lots of Americans to say, you know what, guys? Free repairs. If your phone that's not as waterproof as some phones on the market gets damaged in this hurricane crisis. How many people are going to take them up on that? Not that many. So that is some cheap, good PR.
Yeah, we're talking about it. Okay. All right. Cheap, good PR. I don't know that this is going to be entirely good PR, but let's have a look at the Element 6. This is...
I'm open. I'm willing to be convinced.
The craziest case that I've ever seen. So this is an appearance prototype.
That.
Non-functional prototype that looks like the final product. Let's go ahead and skip back over here. Check this thing out.
I guess I don't like that it looks like a car.
But that's the idea.
It doesn't look enough like a car, though. It looks like an abstraction of a car.
No, because the finished one will be more like this.
Like it has a little grill on it?
Well, no, it's also got like cutouts for the windows and the windshield. Like basically, this is supposed to be like the case that's unlike any other case.
They're trying to merge art and technology.
Yes.
They're making a case that's carbon fiber.
Yes. That belongs on the desk of like the CEO.
All of that is awesome. I just disagree with the form factor they chose being this particular car shape. Why does it want to look like, why look like a car? It should just look like some kind of weird form, if anything.
You think so?
Like a little carbon fiber blob or something.
So there's kind of the best look that we have at what the finished finish will look like, what the grills will look like. This is done by the Singularity Computers guys. If it was anyone else, then I'd be like, yeah, that's dumb, forget it.
Are they in Australia?
Yeah. But these guys know gorgeous work. And these guys, if there was anyone that I think would actually be able to build something like this and make it incredible, these guys would be it.
Why is that?
Just because they have a long history of just building amazing art pieces. They've only got 2 backers, though, so it seems like most people agree with you, or at least most people with $6,000 US.
That's what the pledge is? Is that the minimum pledge?
That's not the minimum pledge, but that's the minimum pledge to get a case.
I did the math. They're looking for $148,000 US.
Yep. So they want to sell 24
that will allow
units.
them to build 24 units, so that's like $6,100 each. I mean, obviously, they had to get the expertise. They had to build the facility. Like, there's people hours involved.
Yep, but they already have.
It's not like they're going to retail for $6,000 eventually. They just want to become a case manufacturer.
This will never be retail.
They're going to sell them on their site.
Oh, are they?
Didn't you read my comprehensive show notes?
No. I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
You're allowed to give me shit about them.
Poo.
Okay. Poo emoji about them.
So, I don't know. I think it's cool. Okay, you know what? I actually don't have much of a defense for it. So this was originally posted by Northstorm on the forum. I think it's cool. I think it's different. I think it's something different.
Definitely.
And I think that it's good for the industry to see things that are different, and I hope it succeeds for
I
that
hope
reason.
it succeeds too.
There.
I do.
All right.
really do.
This one, I'm not really sure what I
I want this puppy on my desk tonight. This thing's sweet.
This is...
Another thing I want to watch.
You want to watch?
I like to watch.
Oh. Philips
You started
Ready's
it.
the curved ultra-wide 492 p8 display. A 49-inch 32 by 9. So to be clear, this is two of them.
Stacked one on top of the other.
Stacked one on top of the other, because for some reason you would want to spend $2,200 to have one bezel rather than a cross of bezels, when you could have done it for a fraction of the cost.
If I were to have
by
two,
just having four displays.
I'd rather put them side by side and I'd have this kick butt.
No. Okay, as someone who's actually done ultra-wide Eyefinity, I can tell you the experience is not as good as you might think. It's like
But looking
unpleasant.
up high, although that's probably only the same height as that last tall monitor we looked at.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't like it. It's not
32
pleasant.
by 9. This thing is just bizarre. So the original article is from Anantech there. It's not quantum dot. There's no FreeSync 2. The refresh rate is unknown. It's about $1,000. And the resolution is, of course. There it is. 3840 by 1080.
What were you about to say?
I was about to say that, of course, the same guy who didn't put any of the specs of the new iPhones wouldn't put the resolution of a monitor, but you did. 600 nits brightness is pretty high. 5,000 to 1 contrast I find kind of hard to believe unless it's the
That's what they
VA
always
panel.
say. Our tests never have anything close to that.
Maybe a VA panel. Set to launch in Q2 of 2018. We have already confirmed we are getting one.
Well, all this is to say, you missed a crucial piece here. So we've seen a Super Ultra already from Samsung that get announced. This is actually the same panel. Samsung is supplying the panel to Philips.
Okay.
It's just Samsung's is more gamery. Samsung's is 144 hertz. We don't know the refresh rate of this one yet. Samsung's is quantum dot and all these other expensive features.
So this is the value one.
Exactly. So if you're not a gamer, if you just want to look at the stock
For working
market,
schmo who needs 49 inches of display.
yeah, for your average Joe who still has $1,000 but not $1,500, this is it.
All right, fair enough. All right, so I think that pretty much does it for the WAN Show for this week. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks, James, for coming on for the last time. And we will see you guys again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Can you at least go the rest of the show without dropping any F-bombs?
Frank, Fairley, Fern Gully, Fire Truck. Oh, by the way, the calendar. We're making the calendar. Sexy Time Men of Tech calendar.
No.
Come on.
You
Come on.
crazy guy.
That monitor's not coming out till next summer, by the way.
Next summer?
Yeah.
No, this is Q2 2018. Oh, I know, but we're getting one. Apparently the WAN Show Twitch chat is terrible. I really don't know...
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
What this person was expecting. Oh, just someone posted on the forum, the WAN Show Twitch chat is terrible.
About in what way?
I don't know.
Everyone thinks they're hilarious, like it's a spammy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Still live?
No.